Poker, a game often associated with logic and strategy, is also deeply intertwined with human emotions. From the jubilation of a winning hand to the frustration of a bad beat, emotions play a significant role in shaping the outcomes at the poker table. In this video, we're going to look into the intricate relationships between emotions and poker hands, exploring how various emotional states can impact decision-making, gameplay, and ultimately, the results. A poker face is more than simply an expression. It's a combination of art, ability, and strategy. In the game of poker, when competitors fight for control of the table, having a stoic, enigmatic face can be just as valuable as having a winning hand. A poker face is essentially a neutral facial expression that conceals the player's feelings or intentions. It's a composure mask, a shield against opponents attempting to read one's hand or judge their level of confidence. A well-executed poker face can be a valuable tool for bluffing, disguising the strength of one's hand, and duping opponents into making costly mistakes. However, perfecting the poker face needs more than just facial muscles. It also necessitates an understanding of body language, tone of voice, and general demeanor. It's about projecting a sense of confidence and control, even in the face of ambiguity or doubt. A modest raising of the eyebrow, a nonchalant shrug, or a calculated pause can express volumes without saying anything. Keeping a poker face isn't easy. Suppressing natural emotional responses demands extreme discipline and concentration, especially in high-pressure situations. The adrenaline rush of a critical hand or the sting of a bad beat can reveal even the most poised player. Poker has serious emotional swings. Imagine starting out with 10,000 chips, and you double up to 20,000 with a great hand. It's almost a euphoric feeling when the dealer gives you your chips. On the other hand, say you're on the losing end, and your 10,000 chip stack goes down to 1,000 after some really bad luck. The opposite feeling occurs. You feel broken. You immediately go into the abyss of paralysis by analysis and have to fight the urge to immediately go all in with subpar cards because you're steaming, aka tilting. Poker players anticipate these swings and acknowledge them, but don't let their emotions take over. They stay in control. The capacity to read body language is a critical component of emotional intelligence. Poker players are well aware of this and attempt to elicit any information from a player that would assist them in making a more informed judgment. Do they make or avoid eye contact? Has their breathing pattern changed? Can you see their pulse pounding in their neck? Are they speaking more or less? Alternatively, they understand they will be on the receiving end of a player attempting to read them. As a result, they must also be mindful of their body language and emotional stability. In Texas Hold'em, you play roughly 18 to 25 hands every hour of live poker. If you play online, you can quickly double or even triple your earnings. So whether you're playing or not, each hand presents a new opportunity to improve and apply your emotional intelligence. Poker players take advantage of this, and regardless of whether they're correct or incorrect, they can continue to practice with each hand dealt. If you've never played poker before or plan to play at the World Series of Poker, poker players are unquestionably at the top of the emotional intelligence food chain. One of the experts on managing emotions during a high-stakes poker hand is Phil Hellmuth. Hellmuth has a firm rule that whenever he goes into a tournament, his own personal stake never exceeds $10,000. He learned the hard way in his 20s when he would begin with good intentions of limiting his budget for gambling, but then lose and end up betting more than he planned on, thinking he could win his way back. Despite his terrible habits, Hellmuth was wealthy by the time he was in his 30s. He began to realize that other players his age had struck a wall. They had the abilities to win, but were overconfident and ultimately lost. Hellmuth decided that once his net worth dropped to $1 million, he would limit the amount he might lose. At important points in the game, the opposing players frequently take a break, removing their mics and strolling outdoors. There, they agree to split the prize money while still offering the winner some additional benefits, like Hellmuth and Annie Duke did during the 2004 Tournament of Champions. Having a guaranteed payday in addition to being staked to begin with helps players to stay focused, and they don't panic or play too aggressively because they're not facing a big loss. It's important to keep a rain check on your confidence as to not think that you're definitely going to score big. That way, you lose focus and start putting the money at risk. So in order to score big, you need to have a strong hold on your focus. In poker, self-awareness is defined as the capacity to recognize one's own emotions, triggers, and playing patterns. It entails knowing how one's emotions and emotional stage affect decision-making. For example, a player who is aware of their tendency to make dangerous bets while frustrated might utilize this knowledge to control their impulses and make more calculated decisions. In contrast, self-control refers to the ability to govern one's emotions and responses. In the context of poker, it means keeping one's emotions under control regardless of the scenario. Whether it's a string of terrible hands or an aggressive opponent, a player with outstanding self-control can remain calm and adhere to their plan without allowing emotions to impair their judgment. Both self-awareness and self-control are important aspects of the poker mental game. Developing these qualities can assist players in improving their poker mindset, which leads to better performance and resilience at the table. In poker, intimidation can be an effective technique for distressing opponents and forcing them to make mistakes. It's not about being physically intimidating or verbally confrontational. Rather, it's about projecting yourself as a confident, fearsome player who isn't easily intimidated. This could include adopting a forceful playing style, placing huge bets to exert pressure on other players, or maintaining a firm, unflappable poker face. Effective intimidation can induce doubt and terror in one's opponents, prompting them to question their actions and potentially make mistakes. However, it's critical to use this method carefully. Overuse might make someone appear careless or predictable. Intimidation should be one of the several tools in a player's inventory, used intelligently and according to the game's dynamics. While intimidation might be effective, patience and persistence are often as successful. Poker is a game that needs a great deal of mental resilience. It's not uncommon for games to run for several hours, and being focused and emotionally stable throughout is essential. Patience comes into play when waiting for the right opportunity. It may be tempting to play every hand or make big movements to demonstrate control, but often the best strategy is to sit and observe. Patience can help you avoid excessive losses while also keeping your plan flexible and responsive. Persistence, on the other hand, means staying resilient in the face of adversity. Even the most expert poker players face terrible beats and unlucky streaks. A competent poker player might be able to remain calm, composed, and focused even when things don't go their way. In poker psychology, intimidation and patience are two opposing yet complementary methods. Both necessitate a great level of emotional control and a comprehension of the human mind. Mastering these methods can provide players a huge advantage in the mental game of poker. Poker has changed the lives of millions of players, but only those who have been able to score big, who know how to keep a good stance at the poker table and how to not let the emotions drive their poker hands, succeed. We hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell notifications if you guys don't want to miss any of our new videos. And we'll see you in the next one.